So it's a very, very strong area of rotation with this.
Probably closer to there on just to the north and west of Gowrie.
So it is. Yeah, that does. It's just to the northwest of Gowrie. So that's a strong pocket of rotation. Again, a couple thousand feet off the ground, but it could stretch itself, reach the ground, and we could have a tornado pretty quickly with this. Again, right north of 175, that highway again. So you folks take cover in this area. Again, a very serious situation here. It's not like it was before. This is a very structured storm with a lot of wind energy with it rotating in this area, coming into the Gowrie area. It'll continue to move eastward, likely toward Dayton and Stratford. So those areas also in the path of this storm. So again, another storm to take very seriously out there. We've had numerous reports of tornadoes. We've had numerous reports of damage. It has been a very active night. Of course, here are the tips. You go to your basement, you go to the smallest center room. It could be a closet, a bathroom, away from windows. Cover yourself, lowest floor possible if you don't have a basement. And also you want to seek shelter in an interior room or stairwell is a very safe structurally sound place. Let's go back to the radar again and show you this as we continue to gather information. I don't think we're getting any reports of a confirmation. Maybe the chasers have left that area, guys. So maybe
I would imagine they have.
You know, because they were there and then they followed the storms eastward. So those chasers may be moving up into northeast Iowa. So maybe nobody's here except for law enforcement. We always have them at our side and helping us out. Again, it's not a big storm, but it's a strong storm with a strong area of rotation. Most of that rotation is elevated, but it does look severe, Brandon.
Just want to update folks, and we can update our banner here. The tornado warning for Tama County has been canceled. That's no longer in effect. So at this point, as of 6:47 Wednesday evening, we just have one county in our area under a tornado warning, and that is Webster County, and that of course includes the southern part of Webster County. So Tama County no longer under a tornado warning. There is, however, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. So it's still pretty stormy out there, just not a tornado warning at this point.
Yeah, we're still getting video in from Lake City of the tornado that was there earlier. We have a lot of video of that particular tornado. There's that is a very good wedge tornado. Again, very large tornado there. Very impressive. And that was earlier today. That is not current. Is there a timestamp on that?
Looks like just 406, okay. 2106D.
Yeah. So 406 as a very, very powerful tornado. Again, that was earlier today. That was the first storm that developed and created that tornado. And what we're seeing now is you can see that strong rotation in the Gowrie area. Again, we have the inbound, the outbound rotational around that Gowrie area. Very strong rotational element there back here. So moving through. So we're going to continue to watch this moving off to the east at about, is it moving at 30 miles per hour right now?
Let me double check real quick. 35 miles per hour.
Yeah. So pretty impressive there. So again, the inbound's coming in and rotating around like that around the Gowrie area. So very strong situation there coming on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the
so the radar is down to
radar,
the radar is down to our south. So we're getting you can see the direction of that movement. We'll put a little loop on that. It's moving off to the east right now. It looks like generally.
Looks like the RFD might be surging on the
rear
bottom
flank
side of that there.
Yeah, the rear flank downdraft, and that could cause some wind and it could choke off the storm if we zoom in closer. So this part here is really starting to surge a little bit, like it's really pushing out, and that is basically the cool air pushing on the back side of it, kind of a mini cold front, if you will, and that is going to possibly produce some high winds. And of course, there's still that threat of a tornado around the Gowrie area with that rotation there. So a lot going on with this particular supercell right now as it continues to move right along Highway 175 toward the Harcourt area. So all you folks along this area, Harcourt and the Lena area, Palm Grove, Gowrie, of course, you're all in the path of this storm, and it could produce a tornado. So far, we have not had a confirmation, I don't think, yet, guys?
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay, so here's the path again, moving pretty quickly now. And again, that wind threat is probably going to be there as well. The timestamp there, 6:50 Gowrie, that's about now. 7:10 for Dayton, and then Stratford at 7:22. Stanhope at 7:33. And again,
you hate to see it because those are the exact same areas that had tornadoes close by not even 3 hours ago.
Yeah, and that's pretty unusual to do this again, but the situation in the environment hasn't changed much because that front isn't moving much. So The winds are a little different. They're not quite as strong at the surface, and we've used up some of the atmospheric energy here, but it's still, conditions are favorable here. It's about 7 o'clock here. This hopefully will be the last storm we have to worry about. There are some thunderstorms down in the metro, but nothing too alarming, I don't think, there. As we look at those, just widen out a little bit. Sure. So some heavy rains coming down in northern Polk County, it looks like, but I have not seen any reports of any severe weather. And really, the velocity doesn't show anything dangerous right now in Polk County, but certainly some heavy rain in Elkhart and going through Ankeny and probably Polk City as well.
Yeah, so at this point, you have all these storms, Brad, that are really not, don't have a lot to them aside from that heavy rainfall. And at this point, the one lone storm that we still have is that tornado-warned storm up in Webster County, and we've been watching that so closely, and we of course want to continue to talk about that with the areas that are going to be affected. Again, as we've said, the folks who have already been affected once today. So here's where that inflow is right now into the storm, and as Taylor said, it's kind of closing up on itself a little bit, so hopefully that will cut off the inflow some as we see this, this area of the storm, we call it the rear flank downdraft. If it kind of closes itself up, that would sort of eliminate some of that rotation that we're seeing right now. It has not done that yet, but that would be something that we would like to see. So it's on top of Gowrie right now, but again, Harcourt, Dayton, Palm Grove should be in a safe place. We're looking at Highway 169 right through the central part of Webster County again. And so this is that area that has already been hit, certainly once today. And Taylor, we haven't had any reports of confirmation with this at all. We still have, do we even have shear popping up at this point?
It is. It's strong, and it's about 3,000 feet off the ground or so, but it's strong.
The Doppler radar is in between Johnston and Polk City, so you have to travel a little ways with the curvature of the earth. That radar beam goes higher and higher above the ground, so we're kind of scanning a few thousand feet above the surface, and that makes it a little bit difficult to determine what's happening at the ground. But there is at least pretty strong rotation a few thousand feet above the ground there.
And given what we've had, the history of today, you really, I mean, this is definitely a strong rotation. I'm sure they're seeing at least a rotating wall cloud, if not a funnel cloud, and it's heading toward the Gowrie area still, and it may actually be pretty much over Gowrie, I think, right now. When you confirm that, Taylor?
Latest scan has it just on just northeast of Gowrie now, so it's already passed it by.
Okay, northeast of Gowrie,
and it's still pretty strong rotation here.
Yep. So it's passing on. And our shear product. It's basically an algorithm, so it has to work out the data. So it's lagging a little bit, but it is now passed through the Gowrie area and moving on through, and still there it is. You can see that little notch right there, and Brandon, everyone's been talking about, hopefully that rear flank downdraft just continues to choke it off. But right now it's a very strong rotation right here in this area between Palm Grove and Gowrie is where we have the strongest rotation, the most dangerous part of the storm. And right now this is the only storm that we are worried about.
Yeah, because everything else at this point is just not, in the same environment. And like you said, this was kind of rare to see a storm like this go through the same area that's already been hard hit. There's a lot of storms to our south that are sort of impeding some of the inflow, but the environment today has just been really significant for tornado development, and we've seen that rotation. What Taylor was saying, we know that the radar itself, where the radar beam is sent from, our Doppler radar site is in Johnston, the Polk City area, so it has to go pretty good ways to hit this storm, and so that rotation could be a little bit higher up from the ground. It could be a couple thousand feet up, which is also a good thing. It could mean it's a rotating wall cloud or a funnel cloud. I'm encouraged by the fact that we have not had a tornado confirmation with this storm. Otherwise, this polygon would be showing up as pink or magenta. It would be showing up as an observed tornado. But because this is going over that same area that has been hit today, we know we still have that inflow coming into the storm. So from Gowrie all the way down to Dayton, and of course, if this were to hold together, we would be looking at Stratford and Jewell and Stanhope again. I don't, at least based on the trends that I'm seeing, think that it will do that, because again, we're watching this really trying to close itself up, and hopefully it will continue to do so, Taylor.
It's if you live in Hamilton County, you don't need to take shelter just yet. Just keep an eye on this. Right. If you live in southern Webster County, you need to be in your shelter right now. If you live in Fort Dodge, you do not need to be in your shelter. You are not in the tornado warning. It does not include all of Webster County. It's just the southern part of Webster County.
Sure.
So Gowrie over to Dayton and
Harcourt.
Harcourt particularly needs to be in shelter right now as the area of rotation is approaching your location. Palm Grove, same situation. If you live in Fort Dodge and had plans to travel south on 169, do not do that right now. That is the area of rotation will be crossing Highway 169 here very soon if it hasn't already reached that location. So it's south central Webster County, the area under the gun at the moment, and that tornado warning continues until 7:30.
There is a new tornado warning also back in Tama County.
Okay.
That it goes until 7:30. That was just issued and includes the Dysart area.
Yeah,
this
it's right
is
on the
about
edge, yep.
15 miles of northeast of Toledo. But that's
Yeah,
a new one that just popped up
Yep.
as well.
It'll be right on the edge of the county there in the northeastern portion.
Yep.
And it's just for that same pocket of rotation we watched earlier, guys. So these are smaller storms, but they're still showing rotation. And I hate to go off the air and somebody get hurt from this, but we will try to wrap things up and get you back to programming here, hopefully by 7 o'clock or so. We'll try to do that. But right now, our main concern is the safety of our viewers.
And we continue to monitor the non-severe storms farther to the south between Des Moines and Ames. Some heavy downpours there, no doubt about that. Right near Huxley, Elkhart, you're getting some very heavy rain at this moment. Slater, just north of Polk City as well, getting that heavy rainfall. No severe threat imminent with that whatsoever. And the tornado threat for Des Moines is rather low. It's not zero, but it is rather low. So certainly don't need to be too alarmed if you are in Des Moines at this moment. And in fact, most of the metro is dry so far. It's been the north side of Polk County that has seen showers and storms so far this evening. As time rolls on, as we move throughout the evening, we'll have a better chance of some storms to move through the city of Des Moines.
It looks like that rotation might be getting pinched off a little bit more north of Harcourt.
Yeah.
So I would hope that continues. And of course, that is in southern Webster County, that warning in southern Webster County. So I'm going to go ahead and plan on going back to cover it, or going back to our programming here, folks. So we'll continue to watch this very closely here at Local 5. And I'll just head over here to the video wall. We've had a very active night. We've had tornadoes touch down. We've had damage reported, no reports of injury. But it's been a very serious night. And we apologize for interrupting programming. But we're going to go back to programming now and watch things very closely here at Local 5. If we see more threats, we will definitely let you know. Thanks for watching.